because he just bought a house in the area. So, and he was more so than ever reminding me of you, but heterosexually, like straight.
Sounds dumb.
Manly, not so much. Matter of fact, actually, if you look at my Snapchat story, for some dumb fucking reason, tomorrow there's a big golf tournament amongst a group of friends. So they decided they were going to rank everyone in 3 tiers: A tier, B tier, and C tier. A being the best, C being the worst, and then like draft the teams from there. And so 2 of them were debating, like, I'm a C golfer, and the other one's like, haha, I'm a B and you're a C, and he's like, no, I'm definitely better than him. So they decided, hey, the tournament's tomorrow. Today, let's have a one-on-one little golf match. Winner is B tier versus C tier.
The right fielder
on a B spot. So we decided to hype the fuck out of it as quote-unquote the match. You ever see ESPN's 30 for 30s ever? Do you know what that is? Or ever heard of it?
Nope.
Mini documentaries, pretty much like a 1 hour long or 30-minute long documentary, just like 1 episode per topic type deal, but like mini docs, and they're cool. On like crazy sports events that have happened throughout life. So we said, you know, here it is, ESPN 30 for 30, the match. And one of the people in the match was the twin, one of the twins that reminds me of you.
There are 2 away now.
So we went across this 9-hole golf course, about, I don't know, 30 or 40 of us, following these 2 as they played golf and treated it like a real golf game. We were quiet for their swings, and would cheer when they hit it, and made bets on who was going to win. I lost $20. Your twin was pretty good, or your triplet. I didn't bet on him. It was very, you guys would consider me weird and consider us weird, and why the hell did we do that? And anyone else would say that's pretty funny.
For the Astros, the third baseman.
Sounds pretty weird.
Alex.
It was a very white, heterosexual, straight male thing of us to do. And
really
to us it was
like
funny.
C tier right now.
However, it's funny because at one point, do you remember Carl?
Yeah, Wiggins.
For some reason, I have him on Snapchat. Wasn't entirely aware of that, and he responded to one of my stories about the match and just was like laughing his head off. People loved it though. Like, we were on Instagram live for so long, like giving everyone complete coverage, like interviews, and like it was crazy how far out we went with this. And of course, they were all drunk. And it was a good time. It was hot as fuck, and I walked a lot, but it was fun.
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit
Sweaty.
more afraid the guy on deck than
very
the guy in
much,
top
actually.
right now. If I'm on the mound, I want this
Swing, high
Get up, ball.
drive, left field and
Let's
deep
go, baby.
into the Crawford boxes.
I actually do have a video I want to send to the group because I know that you guys would appreciate it, even without the backstory.
It's a solo shot for Alex Bregman. His 2nd home run of the series as the Astros have bounced back to tie this one at 2.
I'm actually gonna.
Hey, listen, there's an old adage in baseball that solo home runs won't kill you.
Yeah,
This is one of the top hitters in that lineup. So a home run, a solo home run right here, not the end of the world.
I'm back up top. I got an armor box, by the way.
The batter, number 44. Designated hitter, Yordan
Into the box, Yordan
Alvarez.
And he'll promptly send it in the air out to center field. Pollock has a read on it. 1 out.
Oh, and since you're like one of the only people I've told about this, that girl on Tinder that I matched with, and then I had it on Snapchat, and then she like wasn't answering
Now
for 2
batting,
days.
center fielder.
One run
Yeah, we
Joel.
snapped all day today. She works at a local restaurant, and I said I would go. Nobody wanted to go, so I had to think of some malarkey to say why I wasn't showing up, because I told her last night I would go. Finally, I grew a set enough to call in an order and just go pick up like an order for myself. Saw her there, and all of a sudden she wouldn't stop snapping me about like how much better her day at work was because I went in there for literally like 3 minutes.
This is hit high in the air out toward left center.
Hitting it off.
Has a read on it.
Hey.
That's the 2nd out of the inning.
think she ignored you basically at first, like some sort of weenie.
Well, I'm more convinced that she just was like nervous.
Carlos.
She seemed like she was very nervous after it, and she wouldn't stop saying how nervous she was after it, and how.
Red flag.
There's red flag. Time to put this one away and
I mean, to be honest, I'm not exactly I'm not one to ever anticipate good things. That way, I don't get my hopes up, because then one of two things happens. One, if nothing happens, well, I get my hopes up. I wasn't expecting anything. I'm all good. Two, something does happen. Well, hey, that's a pleasant surprise. It feels even better because you weren't expecting it.
Every woman that I've ever met who has talked at length, not just like, hey, I was nervous, but who has talked at length about how nervous she was, has always negatively impacted my life a lot.
Well, it wasn't like at length. We've only communicated through Snapchat, and then like, well, at first the Tinder messages, but now Snapchat exclusively. What, did we match on Tinder and that's how we met? Well, to be fair, we've only communicated for a day now. And I figure Snapchat's better than texting, because then you can either A, send pictures and see that you're not getting catfished, and B, learn more about their personality if you see like their story or what they're sending you, like what's in the background. Like, I like to learn about people. I'm a listener. I pay attention to detail and people. So.
Ready to go for the last half of the inning.
Leading up for the
yeah, it was good to just make sure I'm not going to get
the left fielder, Michael.
That's a plus.
Brantley.
Here comes the first pitch.
Ball, that's out.
So, and what's funny too is after I finally decided, fuck it, I'm just going to call in the order and go pick it up, I called the place and the phone was off the hook. So then I sent her a Snapchat and I was like, I told her I was stuck, because she's like, oh, I'm working from 11 to 5. Come between like 1:30 and 2:30 is like the best chance for you to like see me, or like just, you know, have it not be crowded in here or whatever. And also the fact that I didn't really get up until about 12:30. Shit, I was in the shower. And I was trying to get my cousin to come with me, that way I didn't show up alone. I'm stuck babysitting till 4. My cousin was babysitting till 4. So when I finally called and the phone was off the hook, I sent her a snap, because we were snapping while she was working. And she said, I said, my cousin called.
Just off to the right as they get ahead of him here, 0-2.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
I snapped her and I was like, my cousin called to like place our order and y'all phone was off the hook. Now she wants Taco Bell, because this is right around the same time that Amethyst sent that shit, or Ashton sent that shit. And then I was right near the Taco Bell and I was still too nervous after the call didn't go through. And all she sent back was, oh, okay. I was like, oh shit, she's actually bummed about this. Like, fuck it, I gotta do it now, I can't disappoint. So then when I called the place, like I didn't tell her I was calling and just gonna end up doing something. So I called and she definitely was the one that answered the phone. Because when they asked for a name on the order, I said my name and like there was just like a pause. And she was like, oh, okay.
My name is Reed Teacher.
That's not my name, actually.
Will.
My students don't know my first name. Actually, that's a lie. My students this year ended up finding out my first name. But they were like cool about it. They were funny about it. They were really nice about it. One day, just a bunch of them were just like, "What's your name?" And I was just like, and you always like play it off. You don't just be like, whatever, or you don't just say your name. You're always like, why? Who wants to know? Or like, what do you think it is? I've never had the chance to do this before, so I said to them, what do you think it is? What do I look like? Or what do I act like? What would you say my name is? And then they start throwing names out there, and I finally had to give them a hint. I'm like, no one else in this school, adult or student, has my name. So if you think of a name and you say, oh, it's Charles, you know, but you know a Charles maybe in like 6th grade, well, that's not it, because no one in the building has my name. And they finally, like, they walked over to another, like, younger teacher, and they were like, hey, what's his name? And he said, like, oh, it's Mr., you know, Tetlow. Like, what do you... I'm like, no, like, his real name. He's like, oh, Reed? like confused because he didn't know what was up. And they all ran back like, oh my God, your name's Reed!
Leading up for the Astros,
Alright, you got me, but don't tell anyone. This will be our little secret, and then if someone else wants to know, then they can go through the same ringer. They can guess it, or whatever, and maybe eventually I'll tell them. Which is weird, because I literally have to wear... Actually, no, that's a lie, I don't. We're required to wear lanyards, and on our lanyards are our IDs.
The second baseman.
And they have our names on it. Then I remember, I don't actually wear mine around my neck where it's visible. I actually pocket mine. So you can just see it coming out of my pocket, so like that counts. Like that's why
that gets down. He's got himself a base hit.
Obvious pitch recognition right there.
Third baseman number 2.
Key to get into the building,
Alex
key to get into the
Bregman.
And drive it for a base hit.
They're all different keys.
And that'll bring up Alex Bregman.
I wonder if that still works now that I'm not in
center, and this is going to get down.
Like if I go on the sub list and then they call me in and I'm just like, yeah. And I show up and buzz myself in.
And a relay home, but it's offline. He scored. And they have taken the lead here in game 2.
Dan, you'll take
the batter, number 44, designated hitter, Yordan Alvarez. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
My senior year of high school, I had an English teacher,
number
the
49,
only black teacher in the entire school. And our school, out of 1,000 students, maybe had like 50 black kids.
I'm surprised he went to that spot in his own. This guy's known for being a down and in hitter.
In the sense of like we had like none.
In that spot.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like that's better because you guys had.
Looked like a sinker there, but he got
his
under
name
anyway.
was
This is lifted out
Eric
to left.
Williams, a.k.a. Mr. Williams, and he coached football. The first day of class, he said, all right, I want you all to know,
center fielder, number
call me
4,
3 names.
Joel.
You can call me Mr. Williams, you
Ringer.
can call me Coach Williams. The third name that everyone calls me that I don't really like, but I've stopped fighting, you can call me D. Wills. You cannot call me D. Willie. You cannot call me D. Wilham. You pick one of the 3.
Leading off for the Dodgers, the right
I just
fielder.
thought it was great. Probably the only black teacher.
Your attention please. Now pitching for the
No, he will. Sorry.
number 6, 1 ball, 1 strike, Roberto.
He knows full well he's
Guess where are you?
All he's trying to do is avoid the golden sombrero.
Little tardy on that swing.
Good
as it's
question,
well
Michael.
wide first. A 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. A strikeout here yet again. It's been a ball game to forget thus far. 4 strikeouts.
Now back.
Also, I fucking rate about this Taco Bell menu change because my literal one. So
down the corner.
story time. I didn't like Taco Bell until about 10, 11 years ago. I went one night, someone told me to try their chicken flatbread. They said all that's on it, which by the way they haven't had since like 10, 11 years ago, which is a crime in itself. They said, try this, it's literally just cheese, chicken, and a soft breaded sandwich type thing. And it was awesome, and I fell in love with it from there on out.
No ball, 2 strikes.
About a year later, after the flatbread had gone away for a limited time thing, they come out with this burrito. In the burrito is meat, cheese sauce, not like the shredded cheese, nacho cheese sauce, hot Fritos, and sour cream. Now, I hate sour cream, so I wouldn't get that. I got that, and that is what changed my life. That was one of the greatest things I've ever had to eat, and still, to this day. That was also limited. They brought it back once about a year ago for a little bit, but it's only been around like last year and then 10 years ago. After that, there was a void in my life for quite some time. There was things that filled it, but not entirely. I was never really as huge as a Taco Bell person as I am until about maybe 3-4 years ago. They add this dollar craving menu, just like McDonald's dollar menu, and they throw in this burrito that has meat, nacho cheese sauce, regular Fritos, which is whatever, and then rice, and I just get it without the rice. Same thing. That's what did me in, and that is part of what they're getting rid of, so I'm pissed about that.
Wah, wah. Yes, did you like my loadout? Did your $800 like my loadout?
Oh, I guess we got a new headset.
Is it you?
Yes.
Hey.
No more crackling shit.
You get out of my box. That is sexual harassment. Jessica. Got in my box. This is my box. Wow, so now I have to get a tattoo, huh? Huh. It'd be kind of weird if I ever do have sex one day with a woman who finally, sees my penis, just goes, "Why do you have your own name tattooed?" You know, just in case I'm ever jerking off and I forget who I'm jerking off for.
Oh my god, that could... I wasn't done with what I was saying, but my mom came out here, so... that burrito will be gone effective August 13th, along with everything else I'm holding on to hope that there may be... They said they're adding something called the beef burrito, which looked like, by the picture, it had meat.
That's what I call my penis.
They emphasize not underestimating their opponent. As one player put it, we've got to be prepared for a counterpunch. Our opponents had a day to brew on games 1 and 2.
Congratulations, even if that thing is my saving grace, you've just ruined the one thing that Taco Bell had going for them now. They've officially lost me as a customer because of, first of all, them getting rid of my go-to, but more importantly, if they gave me a new go-to, you ruined it.
What if they replaced the beef burrito with a new item called the penis weenus?
I'll burn it down. I will burn down, not my local establishment, that'll be hard, but I will burn down the entirety of the Taco Bell Corporation. I will burn down their headquarters. I will burn down the homes of every person involved in making the decision to add that to the menu.
Come on, dude.
Now batting. Second base.
And then I'll probably burn down your apartment block. With any luck, your cats will not be in it, but you will. I was so pumped because I said this in the video that I sent last night too. Like, did you watch that? It was 2 minutes long, so I don't know if people watched it.
Three balls, no strike.
So yesterday, I went to go there, and I had an absolute roller coaster of emotions. I was like, what do I want for dinner? And I kind of got in the mood for Taco Bell. So I open up my phone, I always order online, and I look, and it says that they have back one of my favorite menu items that was a limited time, the double stack crunch taco. It's like a soft and hard taco, but a layer of nacho cheese in between the two, with like red strips in it as well. So I was pumped. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get some of those. Place my order. Go. It's about a 12 to 15 minute drive from my house to there. I go. I get my food. I'm pumped. It was a long line, but it went quick. Everything's all good in the hood. I come home. I open up my bag of food. I ordered my 8 burritos for my go-to, and then 4 of those tacos. They didn't, and I get no lettuce and no rice on my shit, but like, this wasn't even that. Like, they fucked up. They fucked up everything. It wasn't like they just put lettuce on my tacos or something. I got the entire wrong order. So me, normally I don't really care too much, but it was like 7 o'clock and I hadn't eaten all day. Was pissed off enough to get right back in my car, drive 12, 15 minutes again. So I've already driven about a half hour just right now, 12, 15 both ways. Another 12, 15 back down there, and I'm ready to fight. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull up, tell them that they messed up, in a polite way, because I understand that, like, you know, be nice at first, don't just get all pissed off, because humans make mistakes, that's what we do. But I'll say, hey, you guys messed up my order, can I get my order? And I'm mentally ready for them to dispute that, because it had been like 20 minutes. They said, no, it's all good. So,
nice.
and they gave me my actual order. They said, keep the other order free of charge. You know, no big deal, it's our fault, sorry. So it's all good. And when I left the first time, I saw this homeless dude there on the corner right around that I always give about 20 bucks to, because he seems like a genuine dude, young looking like he's our age, really nice. And I've heard about him. Apparently he's legit, like he's not just some dude who's looking to get drug money. Be that as it may, it's still a good thing, whatever. And I didn't give him anything when I went by. The light that he stands on was green, and there was a bunch of cars on the edge. I said, you know, I got to take care of myself a little bit too. I can't just give this dude $20 every time I see him. Second time I go through, I've got this whole ass bag of free food that I'm not gonna eat though. So I saw him say, and I also heard too, another thing is if you don't offer him money but you give him food, like he will be just as excited, if not more grateful, because you've given him food. So if he gets money, he can put that to other things instead of the necessity to eat. So I pulled up and said, hey man, I don't got money for you this time around, but I've got this whole bag of food here. Take the whole thing. It was free. They messed up my order. Don't feel bad about taking it. Take the whole thing. I didn't pay anything for it. I don't want it. It's yours. And he said, I can't take the whole thing because I know I won't be able to eat the whole thing. It's not his food. But, I mean, and he picked through it a little bit. He's like, I'll take this. I'll take that. Thank you so much. Genuine. So I felt great. Everything was great. You know, I got my food and it was great. I gave the dude his shit, and he felt good, and I felt great. And now they're stripping the damn menu, and it's not great. America is not great again, damn it.
Nope.
That's the straw right there. That's the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Confirmed.
Because, and I read somewhere on the T-Bell subreddit that there's a chance, no guarantee, there's a chance that this is due to the pandemic.
Yep.
Because it's all their potatoed items, which is maybe there's some sort of potato shortage. And a few other things that maybe are just a little bit more time-consuming to make. Maybe they don't get ordered as often. So they're simplifying the menu to move people along, keep interactions short and time spent short to make transactions shorter.
Yep.
So, in a sense, because of how terribly we've handled this situation, as a whole, not everyone's done this, I know, but as a whole, this country has fucked up the people and the leadership. So, if this is because of the pandemic, I am going to be so vocal about changing our leadership. I get it, but obviously there's a lot more better reasons. Because of this shit, though. Now it has personally affected me. I have had two main go-to places to get food whenever I was like not in the mood to make something. Biggest cravings for faster food. That was one of them. Domino's is the other. And my Domino's went downhill back in September when the ownership changed. They can't take this from me now, too. Now I'm gonna starve. Or worse. Make my own dinner.
Jeff, let's just sit in this next circle.
I'm a basket case anyway.
You have one pink leg, by the way.
Thank you.
He's been a total control out there. Gets the leadoff guy with a strikeout there, and it just seems like the catcher. Hey, Will.
All one's the count.
Will Smith comes on with one gone here. He looks at a called strike one.
Oh, you know what was crazy too? I just realized this is totally random. That girl sent me a Snapchat, or she posted on her story of a pool float. I have the same exact one, down to the same exact color and everything. This is crazy.
In order to play at this level, you got to
your attention, please.
She goes, huh?
Hitting the Dodgers. Number 3.
Oh, she got some nice ass blue eyes. I was like, I don't care about no fate. I just keep batting those things at me, and it's meant to be.
He was a 5th-round pick during the first-year player draft of 2012.
Hey, nothing has been handed to this guy. Drafted in the middle rounds, and he has found his way in the big leagues. This has turned out to be a really nice pick.
She never answered my message on Tinder, though, about what kind of music she's into.
Now
that could be a deal breaker.
Number 9.
if she says country,
Gavin Lux. He's gone hitless in this one,
like,
Dan, and he's not alone.
No, he's not, Matt. This lineup has had no answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say if she says country.
Jess, you're going to get squished. Rip. What just happened? Oh, we got rocketed. Yeah. Why were we in a car?
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Hey!
Vroom, vroom.
Fastball
Why
from
are you
Verlander
like
to jump
this?
ahead 0-1. 1-1 to the Dodgers leadoff man.
What did she do? Watch someone plant a claymore from 30 meters away and then drive over it like someone else I know?
I got the count 1 and 2.
No, it was not far, and she drove a car while we were getting
The next one
murdered by a
weak
helicopter.
grounder down the first baseline.
Did you really just say helicopter?
No, he's in
not
there.
going to be in time as he's able to reach base safely.
Now batting,
Riding in
third
once
baseman,
again, Justin Turner.
Justin.
These guys are looking to erase that donut on the scoreboard with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Matt, they've been really shut down so far in this one. They've had runners on base, but haven't been able to string anything together.
Don't kill anyone for 46 seconds.
Now a swing and a miss at a slider for a strike.
With runners on base.
Let's go
We'll
Verlander
have
as
to
much
leave
as
it
I can.
there as this is strike 3, and that.
Hey, Jess?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Dodgers, number 49.
The Cuban import Yuli Gurriel. Career against Trinan. He's 1 for 5. Lifted in the air to straightaway center. Peterson giving chase. And a great diving effort there, but it just tip off his glove, and it's a base hit.
Hey, some guys can handle the postseason lights, and
The
this is
pitcher, number
obviously
35.
one of them. Another base
Justin
hit, leading off for the
Verlander.
boys. This guy's had a monster postseason so far.
Oh, no.
Your
Kyle
attention
Tucker
please.
will get the call here as
Pinch
he'll hit
hitting
for the
for
pitcher.
Houston, number 30, Kyle Tucker.
I'm good at this game.
And that misses for ball 1.
You like the modern style of baseball, here it is.
I'm not going to make your same mistakes. I'm going to go die my own unique way.
Hand it over to the nasty bullpens. Let's see what matchups are going to take place.
One there, on to first,
No, he's
not
safe.
in time as he just hits the bag ahead of the throw.
Now batting, catcher,
At the plate,
Corey
Lee. It was
Lee.
a flyout for
Tree.
him in his last trip.
Hi, Tree.
Here's the first pitch to him. Runners on the move for second. Line drive to center field.
Not like
Peterson makes the catch, and now they might be able to double them off at first. Throw behind the runner, but it's not in time. Heads up,
next
base running
one,
gets him back to the bag,
second
following
baseman,
the line drive.
Jose
Going to bed.
Altuve.
Hey, good time.
Up to the plate next will be
Why do
Jose
I always
Altuve.
play against the smartest,
Use
most
a knock
coordinated
here,
people in
0
the
for 3
world?
in the game.
He made it
One
safe.
teammate
Not in time.
like,
Pretty close, but he
pulled
got in
my
there
aggro
safely.
while the other guy shot me in the back.
That was a dumb steal. Alright, bye, people.
Love you all. Bid you toodles.
They keep the deficit right where it is, the pitch.
Inside,
Lays
ball
off
1.
the sinker here, a ball and a strike.
The question is, do I rejoin the Discord with Jamie and Jurtle, or do I just stick to myself, finish these last 2 games and my stat reading without them?
Ready with the 1-1. Breaks his
Oh,
bat as this
Altuve.
one's popped
That's
up.
that's
and he'll avoid
shitty.
the fragments
You're
out
shit.
there to make.
I'm going to double switch Kyle Tucker in, but I'm not going to do it for Yordan Alvarez. I'm going to do it for Michael Brantley.
Your attention please.
Come on,
then-
Now
slide
pitching
into
for the
seventh
Astros,
spot in the lineup,
number
following the double
55,
switch.
Ryan
Kyle Tucker will stick
Pressure.
around as he'll take over in right field.
Because Yordan still has
Way
that
to
back.
0-1 pitch.
Nope.
Well outside with
1
the
and 1.
curveball for a ball.
This final
Right guy, right spot. This is one of the better hitters in their lineup. Just the guy they want to see coming up now to get this inning going.
Therefore, it is Springer, and he's got it for the first out.
up next for the Dodgers.
Because then, actually, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to double switch if it gets to that point. Or no, I'm going to do it anyways, actually. Just not right now.
Cody Bellinger at
The
plate
right
now.
fielder,
He's working
Cody Bellinger.
Doesn't get called a strike.
Fastball right there for strike one. Presley typically throws a lot of strikes coming in out of the bullpen, resulting in low walk totals, although he has been snake bitten by the home run ball at times in the past.
One of the keys for this guy, Matt, is not being afraid to attack the strike. With that said,
now batting,
he is prone
the
to
first
giving up
baseman,
the home runs. I think one of the causes of that, Matty V, he leaves a lot of pitches up in the strike zone. He needs to be down in the zone when he's effective.
And that'll bring up the versatile Max Muncy.
I feel like I actually got a lot of bullpen usage in the postseason this time around.
He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point.
Like, my pitching wasn't over the top. Like, it was well-rounded and good, but I didn't have, like, starter domination to the point where they were pitching complete games all the time, and I barely needed to go to the bullpen. And then, like, you know, like, they were good. They had good outings, like case in point, Verlander right here. But he couldn't make it past the 7th. Did he pitch the 7th? Yeah, he pitched the 7th. Didn't make it past the 7th, which is like the deepest anyone's gone in the postseason so far. Bregman's been the most at this rate.
Joe.
It was Corey Lee after game 1, but Bregman has took it here for this second and third games now. A homer in each game, an RBI base hit in game 2 is on top of the homer. He's got a 2-run shot in this game. It's got to be Bregman. I think Corey Lee finishes second, depending on what he does. Wow, I thought for sure that would have been a smile. I'll take it. I love his home run animation, I'm not going to lie. As much as I don't like him, his stance is alright, but...
Shot towards second, but an atom ball right to him for the first down.
The left fielder, number 44, Jordan Alvarez.
No hits in 3 tries so far. He's struck out once.
Damn it. So it's the inside pitches with 2 seamers, even when I'm batting as a lefty. Fuck me every time. Oh, thank you, Trey. Okay, I gotta set up my arms too. I gotta put the
The center fielder, number 4, George Springer.
Wrong button. 12 p.m.
So striding in, George Springer is working on a 1 for 3 thus far.
I was really expecting a little bit more out of Springer for my own personal reasons, because how good he is in the postseason. I was hoping he would continue that trend, but not that he's been bad, but he hasn't been the monster that he normally is in the postseason.
He's there to track it down, and that'll end the inning.
I just realized, game 1 we walked off, games 2 and 3 were both save situations. This has been, granted we're about to go up 3-0, but it's been a tight series at the same time. I mean, hell, in game 1 it took a 2-out 9th inning, or was it 2 outs? I don't know if it was 2 outs, but it took a bottom of the 9th down to game-tying 2-run shot by Kyle Tucker, and then again in the 3rd. I don't know if we tied it twice. We tied it in the bottom of the 9th, and then I don't know if it was the 12th or what. We tied it in extras again. I actually I think Bregman hit a home run in game 1 for that matter. I think he had Bregman's had a home run in all 3 games, so he's definitely World Series MVP because he had the game-tying shot in game 1. Corey Lee had the game-winning hit.
And another foul ball.
But Bregman had the tying hit.
Skied in the air to
oh shit! I meant to switch out Alvarez. Put Corey Lee in left and then put Vasquez behind the plate. But I guess it doesn't matter.
And there are 2 men
downfield, I guess.
Now batting, catcher Will.
0-1 the count there.
Just in case we don't end up winning it. Justin Verlander for the first time in his career. Oh.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Justin Verlander for the first time.
2-2 to the Dodgers catcher.
For the first time in his career, Justin Verlander.
Liner towards second, and that'll get down for a 2-out single.
I want it like the official line.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Dodgers. Number 45.
Imagine if they tie it here.
Runner on first. Taken called strike.
That's a beautiful changeup.
They're down to their final strike tonight.
It's a 3-game lead for the Astros, and for the first time in his career, Justin Verlander has a win in the World Series.
Are 1 win away from a
I
sweep
believe
of this fall classic,
first win of his in the World Series. I'm almost positive he has never won a World Series game. A couple of no decisions, maybe. I don't know. I do not know.
It's all working for this team right now.
But I'm almost certain that he has never won
here's the bad news.
In a World Series game. Like, if his team won, he didn't get the win. I really don't know.
Yes, so we know it's not impossible. But before they start entertaining miracles, they got to see if they can just win one game.
This man got a hot dog in his blizzard.
Hey, yo, my son looked out the blizzard. Yo, you want anything else? You want ketchup for that?
That is fucked. The blizzard. Alright. We're scoreless in the top of the 6th, but we're looking for the World Series sweep. Imagine the shit show if not only did these two teams match off in the World Series, face off again in the World Series, but the Astros go on to sweep them. Oh my God, that's his girlfriend.
For a report on this club's outlook heading into Game 4, here's Heidi Wackney.
Well, Matt, the overarching sentiment from this team is that tonight is the night. Talking with the players earlier, the sense of excitement in them was palpable. I didn't get a lot of that cliche talk about not looking ahead or treating this game like any other. No, they were adamant that they are ready to sweep this World Series and celebrate. We'll see if that confidence leads them to the pinnacle of the sport later this evening.
Leading off for Houston, the second baseman, Jose Altuve.
Jose.
High in the air into shallow left center.
He has been
comes on and makes the catch in shallow left.
Very piss poor in the postseason.
The right fielder.
Springer's been a little disappointing, but Altuve's been a big disappointment. Which is funny. Oh, they wore these orange jerseys last time they won it. And imagine, too, they sweep them and they win it in LA again. Trash would be thrown all over that field, I'm sure of it.
The left fielder.
Like, say somehow tomorrow they discover a vaccine and they end the pandemic within a week. Everything's back to normal. And baseball starts up as normal. That's not gone. Oh, it's gone. You're done.
Goodbye. This one ain't coming back.
The cheat code had one more in them. Yeah, say somehow they come up with the vaccine treatment tomorrow, absolutely no side effects. It's you get it and you're good for life, and we squash this thing like an absolute bug and make it non-existent. It's never a threat again. And the world opens, everything just goes right back to normal within a week. Baseball starts up, and then the Astros and Dodgers in the World Series. And I mean, the Astros get booed everywhere they go, but then they end up in LA for the World Series and 3 games with a crowd. How
the other way out toward right field. Bellinger's in pursuit. He gets there to make the catch.
They went with Bueller for Game 4. Who did I have pitching for Game 4 is the question.
So that'll bring in Mookie Betts.
Leading off.
Kind of surprised Ricky's pitching on short rest.
The left fielder.
Yeah, Ricky on short rest as opposed to Urquidy or Pruitt or McCullers even.
Now batting, right fielder, Cody.
I kind of wanted Greinke to be getting the last outs, so I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact there is
now batting, first baseman,
one person on this team. Normally I have one or a few people that I want recording the last 3 outs. I can think of one person that will absolutely, beyond any circumstances, he will not be recording the last 3 outs. Not in this one, maybe in my beginning. And I will tell you right now, Roberto Ozuna, I don't give a shit if I have a 1-run lead, the bases loaded, 2 outs. Roberto Ozuna will not get those last 3 outs recorded. I don't give a fuck. He is a scumbag, as it is, but I have my own personal reasons to dislike him that I will not get into. It goes beyond the game. It goes beyond anything he's done in his past when it comes to the allegations against Toronto.
Well, that's a smart miss there. Sometimes guys will chase it down there, especially when they're in protect mode on an 0-2 count.
Find myself being a fan for my own reasons. As it is with everything else, I'd probably, like, he's a scumbag. You know, even if I didn't have my personal reasons, I already have enough to dislike. Everybody's enough to dislike.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Ned. That's what you get.
Everybody has enough to dislike pretty much anyone on this team. I can't really think of one person on this team there is to like at this
they've trusted their defense to make the plays, and they've done just that.
Yeah, and it's resulted in a game that could really go either way in these late innings. 1-1. Misses for the second ball.
2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Nope.
3-1 now.
Every base runner in a close game like this really matters, so you can't afford to be giving out free passes this late.
Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact.
That could have been easily ruled a strike if I didn't swing at it. Sandra's Rose is still stuck in my head.
Hit hard on the ground is short. A sliding attempt at short, but he can't get a glove on it.
Going Bregman for World Series MVP. Probably Yordan Alvarez for postseason MVP. Michael Brantley 2 for 12. Definitely not the World Series MVP.
He looks terrific. Yeah, absolutely.
I really wanted to, and I was going to last night had I not gotten off after that exhausting game one. I was going to take Brantley out of the lineup. Corey Lee was going to become the left fielder. Corey Lee was going to be whatever corner outfield position Brantley would be. I know Yordan would be in the outfield for the non-DH.
This guy's really effective.
He would be #1 in place of Kyle Tucker.
If he continues to throw strikes like he is,
or
he's
I don't know. Against righties, I probably would have done Corey Lee behind the plate still, and then just Kyle Tucker instead of Brantley. Against lefties, I would have done Corey Lee in the outfield with Christian Vasquez behind the plate. I fucking forgot to do that. Forgot to do that even in between games 2 and games 3 and now.
Hit back up the middle.
Because Brantley has just been a piece of shit. He has absolutely sucked. Not only is he 2 for 13 in the series, but he's doing shit like that, where it's just detrimentally hurting the team.
Number 10.
Now the bases are empty.
Third trip to the plate for him here tonight. 0 for 2 at this point. In the air out to left.
I don't know why. I just haven't been able to hit home runs with Gurriel. Like that felt like a good swing, and anyone else taking that swing, it probably would have gone out.
Next
up, Gurriel just didn't get it.
Will Smith.
Leading off for the Dodgers, the catcher, Will
jumps ahead of the first man to greet him. It's strike one. And a pitch
1 ball, 1 strike.
Lays off. It's 1-1. Slider clocked in the mid-80s there. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
His slider's been impressive all night long. If he can continue spinning it like that, he's going to be just fine.
And there's the good curveball as he set
Ladies
down
and gentlemen,
strikes for the
your
second
attention
time
please.
Tonight.
Pinch hitting for the Dodgers.
Into the on-deck circle
Number
now
3.
to try to get something started here with 1 gone in the inning.
Taylor.
And the pinch hitter will not be able to advance the cause, and there are 2 away now.
Now batting.
Stepping in and ready
Number
for
9.
another shot. Gavin Lux. He'll look to bounce back after striking out
I gotta think
last
about
time up.
Rinky can swing the bat.
1 run
Do I
and
want
7
him pitching
hits.
the 8th?
No errors for the
Because
Dodgers
that means
thus far.
he's gonna have to take his at bat.
Rounded down the
7th.
3rd baseline.
I think it all comes down to what does Corey Lee do leading off the top of the 8th.
And he struck him out. His 8th punch out of the ball game, and that one ends the.
It's going to be
Your attention, please.
quite the decision to make.
Now pitching for the Dodgers.
Not that I don't have faith in my
17.
bullpen, but I think Greinke's the guy I want getting those last 3 outs.
Kelly.
If we win this game, and it has to be in the 9th. If it goes to extras, then obviously Greinke will not be able to do it. Unless I push the limitations. He's going to run out of energy. I'm going to stick with Greinke. Look at 40-40? Holy shit, Greinke really can hit.
Now batting. The pitcher.
It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
You got a hit in this one.
Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. That's popped up. Lux onto the grass. He gets there and makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, the second baseman,
Jose Altuve. Could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Here comes the first pitch.
Ball one.
Can't find the zone there as he lays off the breaking ball.
Hey, this one's tied late in the game. As a pitcher right now, you just can't lay a cookie in there 1-0.
Line towards center field.
Look at that. How the fuck do you make that hard of contact and you lined it that far when you barely made contact? Like, Altuve has just been such a disappointment.
Bottom of the inning now.
Leading up for the Dodgers, the third baseman, Justin Turner.
Almost threw
run on base to lead off the inning.
Come on,
now batting, the left fielder, Mookie.
0-1's the count. Bet.
Mookie's like what, 1 for 16 in the series? It just said.
He's ready. Here's the 0-1.
Fucking ran on the
taken
change.
The throw. Not
easy. There he's safe.
Rings up
wow.
One,
I didn't think that was going to be a strike.
For him in the game.
Now batting, the right fielder, Cody Bellinger.
But Muncy isn't a threat because he certainly is a threat.
So that'll set up the double play possibility with one
the batter, the first baseman.
I got to start from
Muncy.
Because this would probably be a good situation.
Digging in and looking for more. Max Muncy so far 2 for 3 in this one. First pitch on its way.
We're not making a mistake that was made in 2019, even though it's not going to matter right now, for the most part. You know, the drinking Game 7, they absolutely should not have, and it cost them.
Swing and a miss, and they'll dodge a
Grinky's one of the few curveballs I have faith in entirely. Beautiful.
Digging in to try it again.
The batter, number 5, shortstop, Corey Seager.
Yeah, nothing better than coming through for the boys in a tight game, Matt, especially when you're kind of due to do something productive.
Like, look at how it just flutters in there. Like, you really have to be sitting. It's 71 miles an hour. You got to sit back hard. 71 to 91. Or was it 71? I don't know. Either way, that was a big mile an hour difference.
No runs, a hit, 2 left. We're through 8 full here in Game 4.
Your attention, please. This game for the Dodgers. Now playing third base. Number 14,
in for Houston, George Springer.
Hernandez.
Start things out here in a tie ball game. 9th inning away now as the first pitch is taken for a cold strike.
2-3-4 duo. You gotta have a lot of faith in Joey Kittens here, Joe Kelly.
High in the air out to center
Springer.
field.
Up next will be Alvarez and then Correa batting cleanup. Coming into time, that brings up Bregman.
The left fielder, number 44,
into the box,
Yordan Alvarez.
Coming off a solo homer in his previous trip. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Fastball well outside. Bases are empty.
Yordan's just an absolute force. Like, he's a fucking tank.
To the right, into the loaded
right through your shift.
And that's in there for a
Yordan, I think, will be in the top 3 for World Series MVP. I think Bregman and Corey Lee are up there, and Yordan's up there.
Now batting, the shortstop, Carlos
Correa.
Yeah, he found a good result right there, Dan. Pitcher actually executed right there. Got him to hit it where he wanted to. Put good barrel, good contact on that ball.
0-1's the count.
0-1 the count.
I'm lucky. I'm glad I hit a no-doubter with Correa some point last night.
The 0-1.
Oh, that misses out.
I think I mentioned it already, though.
Lifetime versus Joe Kelly. He's gone 2 for 5. He's taken him deep once.
It's taking a little longer than I was hoping it would, but it is what it is.
So 1-1 pitch. Now here's a line
It's
drive,
a huge base hit,
and this
Correa.
is going to get down for extra bases.
I'm sending Yordan.
Here comes the go-ahead run.
A go-ahead double in the 9th. Again, a tight game. This is insane how tight all 3 of these games have been.
Alex.
Big
And
RBI
yet we're up
base hit
3-0.
right
Ladies
here.
and gentlemen,
Give your team
your
a lead.
attention,
Yeah,
please.
no one remembers that ground
Now
ball
pitching
with
for
Thies
the
in the top
Dodgers.
of the second inning. You
Number
want to
Oh,
show
that might
them
fall.
the game is on the
Wait.
line. Can you quiet
Nice
your
slide.
nerves, take the crowd out
One of the few
and
times I would
slow
say that
yourself
slide was
down
actually
enough to come
necessary.
through.
Usually
That's exactly
they
what
do
he did.
unnecessary shit.
Now batting, the center fielder,
Stepping up now,
Michael Brantley.
No, Brantley, no. No.
Time granted
No.
here at the plate as he'll step out of the box.
Kyle Tucker.
Pinch hitting for the Astros. Number 30, Kyle
He's
Tucker.
perfect. Great to pitch tonight.
Ball,
I
that's
thought they
it.
were gonna fucking hit
Fastball
him.
well off the plate inside. Trying to add some padding to their lead in the form of that run standing out there at second base. Looking to keep this a one-run game. The pitch pulls this one into the air out into right field. Bellinger's on his horse. He gets there to make the catch.
I don't remember if we lost it in the postseason.
So they pick up a run.
I don't think. No, I didn't. I had a couple of
Your
games where I
attention,
thought
please.
those
Stay in the
I
ball
did.
game as
This
he takes
game
over
for
in
the
center.
Astros.
Here's
Now
Jock
playing
Peterson
center
now.
field.
Will be the
Exactly.
first
Number
at bat here
30.
in the
I want
inning
you to
with
get
this guys
Kyle
in need of some ninth
Tucker.
inning magic. They're going to force
After
a
you came
game
so
five.
close last year and you
No
should have
balls and one
pitched
strike.
further than you did at least. And he's never gotten a ring before. This will be Greinke's first ring
Got him.
after such a long, illustrious career.
One gone here in the ninth.
Up next for the Dodgers,
I want you
the catcher,
Here's
to
the
enjoy
first
it. I want you to show
Well.
emotion for that matter too, because
Smith.
Sent out to straightaway
quick 2
center
outs.
field. Tucker waits on it, makes the play, and there are 2 gone now.
I fucked up my outfield still. Hold on.
Matt
Your
Beatty
attention,
will
please.
pinch hit here, and he's
Pinch hitting for the
potential
Dodgers.
tying run.
Number
Holy
45,
shit,
Matt.
left field.
Beatty.
Jordan Alvarez. And I have 4 catchers on this team. It's like Garrett Stubbs, Martin Maldonado. Stubbs still here. I thought he got the boot after Curley came up. Whatever. Either way, Vasquez is in. I want Vasquez to
for
be on
the
the plate.
Gets into the ball game here
Now
as he takes
catcher.
over behind the plate.
Number 8,
And
Christian
in right field.
Vasquez.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to switch Springer in the center field, Tucker in the right field, Corley in the left field. We're going to act like I did that before the start of the ninth.
Fastball taken, but that gets the zone for a strike.
0-1.
Much better fielding. Vasquez back there, Lee in the outfield instead of Brantley, Tucker out there in the outfield instead of Alvarez.
One free pass,
Even
One
as
ball,
a strike away.
they're still making him work really hard.
The Dodgers down to their final strike. Now a ball lined to the left side, but this will be a foul ball. Ready with another 2-strike offering. Struck him out, and it's over. They are World Series
And for
champions.
the second time in franchise history, the Astros win the World Series, and they do it against the Dodgers again, in LA again, this time with a sweep.
Wow, World Series champions. The only thing that could have made this sweeter would have been.
Alright, that's everything. 3 tightly contested games. 4, I'm sorry, 4 tightly contested games. Wow. Juice WRLD's Legends Never Die album sells 508,000 first week, which is 210,000 pure, which is the 46th biggest first week in hip-hop of all time, knocking off of the list 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. All right, but that's it for the Astros. We're World Series champions. Finished with a grade of an A, a record of 124 and 38. Looking at the green line chart there, nothing really too crazy. A lot of winning, followed up with like a loss or two, and then a lot of winning. I never looked at the final standings, I don't think. No, I did. I definitely did. Yeah, I did. Player boosts. I had one for Bregman, one for Alex Wood via trade, one for Zach Greinke via no-hitter, one for Yordan Alvarez, one for Carlos Correa. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 player boosts. I'll have to look at the calendar when I continue in franchise, but I don't think we lost in October. But let's take a look at the player stats. Starting with pitchers. In the postseason, Framber Valdez made 1 appearance. He pitched an inning and 2/3. I thought I used him twice. Oh well. He pitched an inning and 2/3. And in that inning and 2/3, he walked 0 batters, struck out 3. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run, an earned run on a home run for an ERA of 5.40 and a whip of .60. Chris Davinsky made 2 appearances. He pitched in 3 total innings, walking 1 batter, striking out 6. He gave up 2 hits, but no runs, with an ERA of 0 and a whip of 1.0. Ryan Presley pitched in 4 games, 4 appearances, each one probably an inning, seemingly. He pitched in 4 innings altogether, so he walked 0 batters. He struck out 9 out of the 12 that he faced, and he gave up 2 hits. He got 2 holds. Gave up 2 hits, and that was it. So an ERA of 0 and a whip of .50. Roberto Ozuna, 5 appearances for Roberto, 4 saves, 5 innings pitched. He struck out 0, walked 0, struck out 10. Gave up 5 hits, no runs, 4 walks, so an ERA of 0 and a whip of 1.0. Austin Pruitt, my 5th starter who never saw a start, made 1 appearance. He pitched in 2 innings. He struck out 3. He walked 0. He gave up a hit, no runs, ERA 0, whip .50. Alex Wood had 3 appearances. I think they were all 3 starts, actually. I don't know. He pitched in, yeah, it was all 3. It was 3 starts. So he had 3 starts. It says it right there. He pitched 17 innings in those 3 starts. No wins or losses. 2 walks, 22 strikeouts. 2 of his 3 starts were quality starts, at least. Gave up 15 hits, 9 runs, 4 home runs. Alex Wood a little shaky in the postseason. 4.76 ERA, 1.0 whip. Joe Smith made 4 appearances. He pitched in 3 2/3 innings. He got a win in one of those appearances. He walked 0, struck out 6. Gave up 3 hits, no runs, got 2 holds, an ERA of 0 and a whip of .82. Brad Peacock made 2 appearances, and he pitched in 5 innings. He walked 1, he struck out 9. That one was intentional, though. I remember that. I'm almost positive it was intentional. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, so he had an ERA of 0 and a whip of .40. Jose Urquidy made 1 appearance and 1 start. He went 1-0, 6 1/3 innings pitched. He walked 0, struck out 10. Gave up 5 hits, 1 run for an ERA of 1.42 and a whip of .79. Lance McCullers Jr. made 2 appearances, none of which were starts though, but he did go 2-0, and he pitched in 6 innings. And in those 6 innings, he walked none, struck out 10, and he gave up 2 hits, 1 run on a home run for an ERA of 1.50 and a whip of .33. Justin Verlander had 3 starts. He went 3-0 in those starts, pitched in 20 innings, walked 3 batters, struck out 32. All 3 of his starts were of quality starts. He had 17 hits given up, 4 runs for an ERA of 1.80 and a whip of 1.0. Zach Greinke had 3 starts, went 3-0 across his starts, 29 1/3 innings pitched, walked 1 batter, struck out 35. Oh, I'm sorry, he had 4 starts. In his 4 starts, he went 3-0, 29 1/3 innings pitched, 1 walk, 35 strikeouts, 1 complete game, 3 quality starts, 30 hits allowed, 10 runs, 3 home runs, an ERA of 3.07 and a whip of 1.06. Not bad. I need to look now at the postseason most strikeouts in a postseason, because I know already, go to Baseball Reference, that Justin Verlander has the most, but I want to see if Greinke is on that list or if he, just, yeah. So, strikeouts, career, Justin Verlander. Zach Greinke is not on the list. He might be now after getting 35, but Justin Verlander, who... The only active players on this list are John Lester, Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw, and Justin Verlander. John Lester is not even coming close to anywhere near Verlander. Scherzer, same boat. They're about 70 away each. Kershaw is only about Kershaw's 35 away right now. Like in reality, Verlander is 205, Kershaw is 170. He has the potential to get to Verlander, but that's it. Kershaw's 5th, Verlander's 1st with 205. Now Verlander is at 237 if you count, if this run were real. That was a tongue twister. If this run were real. If this run were real. There we go. If this run were I'm not going to try to say it again. If this were actually happening and Verlander pitched 20 innings and struck out 30 batters, he would have 237 strikeouts in his postseason career, and he would have eclipsed the 200 innings pitched mark. He would now have 207 and 2/3 innings pitched. 207 and 2/3 innings pitched in the postseason. So since Greinke's not in the top 10, I want to see where he is now. The top 10 starts with Randy Johnson at 132. So now I'm going to go take a look at the MLB at-bat app. Go to stats for current players, and we're looking at Zach Greinke. And we need to change the filter to postseason cumulative. His first postseason appearance was in 2011. Then he pitched in 2013, 14, 15, and 17. 13, 14, and 15 for LA, 17 for Arizona, 19 for Houston. And he actually hasn't pitched as much as I thought in the postseason. His strikeouts currently sit at 84. So tacking on those 35 more puts him at, I believe, 119 off the top of my head. Yeah, 119. So he's not in the top 10 still at 132, Randy Johnson. Okay, cool. It is what it is. Oh, actually, I should have kept that open because I want to go over to the position players. Josh Reddick, no at-bats. Aledmus Diaz, no at-bats. Garrett Stubbs, no at-bats. Martin Maldonado, no at-bats. Christian Vasquez, 4 at-bats. 1 hit for a 250 average. He scored a run. Meh. Corey Lee. The kid is bright, has a bright future. Corey Lee had 37 at-bats. He had 10 hits for a 270 average, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 6 runs scored. He was all right. Not bad. Pretty solid numbers. Kyle Tucker, another kid, bright future. 39 at-bats. He had 12 hits for a 308 average, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, a stolen base, 4 runs scored. Pretty solid also. Not bad. Pretty good. Carlos Correa, 44 at-bats. He had 16 hits for a 364 average. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and 9 runs scored. Very productive. Yordan Alvarez, who I think gets the nod for postseason MVP. 48 at-bats. He had 16 hits. Oh, we did sweep the postseason because we only played 11 games. 16 hits for a 333 average, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, 13 runs scored. OPS of 1.185. Very damn good. Yuli Gurriel. Alright, wasn't bad. 43 at-bats, he had 14 hits for a 326 average. Only 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 6 runs scored. Not bad. Not bad. Alex Bregman, I think the World Series MVP and the first runner-up for postseason MVP. 46 at-bats, he had 16 hits for a 348 average. 4 home runs, 14 RBIs, 9 runs scored. OPS above 1 at 1.071. Pretty damn good, if I had to say so. Michael Brantley was pretty damn good until the World Series when he went ice cold. In 39 at-bats, he had 14 hits. And actually, for that matter, he was 2 for 13 in the World Series. So if we take away those 2 hits, he's down to 12, but he's in 13 at-bats taken away means he had 12 hits in 26 at-bats. That would give him a 462 average had he not gone ice cold if he just didn't play in the World Series. But regardless, What the hell? My phone just tweaked out for a second. It scared the shit out of me. 39 at bats. He had 14 hits for a 359 average, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, a stolen base, 8 runs scored. Not bad. He was all right. OPS above 1, so that's good. Jose Altuve was not good. He was kind of just there, and even then, he was actually pretty damn bad. Not pretty damn bad, but he wasn't good. In 52 at-bats, he had 11 hits for a 212 average, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 6 runs scored. Just not that productive. And then George Springer, who started off good. He was just kind of, he was not bad, not good. I mean, these are pretty good numbers, but not bad. 49 at-bats, he had 14 hits for a 286 average. He scored 9 runs. He hit 3 home runs with 4 RBIs and stole a base. He was one thing I want to check, actually, is I want to go to Baseball Reference one more time. Because I know George Springer has a great track record in the postseason. So I want to look at postseason home runs. The top 10 starts with Carlos Beltran at 16. The only active player on this list. There's actually 2 active players. Nelson Cruz has 17. Albert Pujols has 19. But the leader is Manny Ramirez with 29. I don't see that getting surpassed. I want to see how many George Springer has before this. I know he only hit 3 here, but I feel like he has a solid amount in 2017. I don't know how many he hit in 2018 or 2019's postseason, but I feel like he's starting to get to the point where he could be in that top 10. Or 2015 for that matter. I forgot the Astros played in 2015. So George Springer has 15, so he has 18 career postseason home runs, which would actually put him on the list. He had, and actually, I'm surprised he's at 15 right now, so he'll definitely get there. But he's at 15 right now. He had 3 more. I'd put him at 18. That would make him tied for 5th place, knocking Carlos Beltran, Nelson Cruz, Jim Tomei, and David Ortiz. Beltran has 16. The other 3 have 17. He would surpass them, and he would tie Mickey Mantle and Reggie Jackson at 18. Difference is, Springer is very young, or youngish. He has a lot of potential to go higher on that list. He definitely can pass Pujols. He only needs 1 more for that. Pass Derek Jeter. Only needs 2 more for that. Jeter has 20. Bernie Williams has 22. Bernie Williams is within reach. Manny Ramirez is a little bit out there. 11 more postseason home runs is a little bit much, but at the same time, like I said, he's young-ish. And if he plays with good teams, it can definitely happen. So, with all that being said, let's go take a look at the regular season numbers. We'll start with the pitching, like I normally do, but definitely for this, because the offense was unholy. Framber Valdez. Young, kind of inexperienced, 26 years old, would be potentially got his overall up to 69. He's got stamina to go a solid chunk of innings out of the bullpen. That can come in handy, and he wasn't bad. He could have been better for sure. 43 appearances in the regular season, went 3-3. He blew 4 saves, and he got 7 holds. In 47 1/3 innings pitched, he didn't necessarily get shelled, but he got lit up for the hits. He struck out 51. ERA of 3.99 isn't the worst, but the whip of 1.86 is bad. That's just bad. For a WAR of -0.1. Negative WAR. We've got him under team control until 2025, so he'll be, 27, 28, 29, 30. So he'll be 30 by then, and I think if wherever he's at there, if he hasn't peaked by then and is already declining, he'll definitely be at his peak. Meh. He's happy, though. He likes his role, likes his contract, so whatever. Chris Davinsky's overall went up to 77. His potential went up to C. 29 years old. So you're just about seeing what you're going to get for Chris Davinsky. Like, you're not going to see much more than what you're getting now. He's got some time maybe to change that, but it's not seeming like it. He's got his second ring. He was all right. 52 appearances. He went 8-1 with a save and 3 blown, 9 holds, 58 and 2/3 innings pitched. Pretty sure he was the primary closer for this team at one point. No, he never was, actually. I'm surprised. 58 and 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 67. A 3.38 ERA is, considering the last 2 years, pretty good for him. 1.26 WHIP, not bad. Good for a WAR out of the bullpen of 1.3. Last year of his contract, so he could be potentially walking, but at the same time, he is happy. He likes his role and he loves his contract. He likes the team, so there's a chance he comes back if offered a contract. Ryan Presley, it says his overall didn't change, but I'm almost positive his overall was not 89 to start the season. 31 years old, so he's in like the prime peak era there, and he was really fucking good up until like August, and then August he kind of slipped up. Like, I mean, like, he could have been the closer, really fucking good. He actually just got his first ring. I thought he was with this team for a while. He had 31 appearances, 1 win, no losses, 6 saves, 3 blown, 20 holds. Only pitched 28 and 1/3 innings. In that time, he struck out 42. Was he ever a starter? No. He struck out 42. 3.18 ERA. Not bad. You know, it's worse than the last 2 years for him. But it's a much smaller sample size, too. And he was really good. And I hate that because he was, for a while, my best bullpen arm. He barely gets used. But whatever. A whip of .92 just goes to show that he did have it in him. His whip was sub 1. Good for a WAR of .6. We've got another year on his contract. He was worth that money. He's ecstatic. Loves his role. Loves the contract. And the team. Scumbag Ozuna. Roberto Ozuna was only 25 years old. Got his overall up to 97, so he's one of the highest overall in the game. One of the best pitchers in the game. One of the best bullpen arms. And he's only 25, so he's going to get better. He had 52 appearances. He was pretty damn cold for me for a while. He was not good for a long stretch of time. 52 appearances, no wins, 2 losses, 44 saves is a career high, 3 blown saves, 2 holds. 44 and 2/3 innings pitched is kind of low for him for the most part. He struck out 60. An ERA of 2.82 is higher than the last 2 years. A whip of 1.10 is his highest ever. So, kind of an off year for him, but not a bad year. 0.5 WAR. He's on the last year of his deal, and he could get paid, especially with that overall. And his age, he is 25, and he's hitting free agency. He's 97 overall. That is equivalent of paid. He's okay with his role, which, I mean, it's weird. It's his expectation, and he got it. Loves his contract, even though I know in real life he is not the biggest fan of it, but that's besides the point. Cool, whatever. Austin Pruitt. Got his overall up to 76. Not going to see much more improvement from him. This is his first year with the Astros, his first ring. I wanted him to be my number 5 starter because he was getting it done in the bullpen as a long relief. But he is a relief pitcher, so the game wasn't really the biggest fan of it. 29 appearances, he had 1 start. He went 8-1 altogether, no saves or blowns or holds. 55 innings pitched flat. Struck out 48 for an ERA of 3.27 and a whip of 1.25. Good for a pitching WAR of .6. We got 3 more years of arbitration before he can walk in 2024. He'll be 33 at that point, or 34, or 32, right? No, there's no way for him to be 32 still. Either way, he's ecstatic. He's okay with his role enough, but he's ecstatic because he loves his contract. Good for him. He was all right. Alex Wood. I think Alex Wood was a solid trade piece. I needed a guy to back up Greinke and Verlander. McCullers was that guy for a while, but he wasn't getting it done. Urquidy was not. I needed somebody. I needed a 3-4 guy, and that's where Alex Wood came out. I did not need a 1. I did not need a 2. This was perfect. Alex Wood, I need a 3. 29 years old. He got his overall up to 80 and went gold. So, and I think that's a perfect spot for him. Number 3 in the rotation. I don't know what his numbers were before I traded for him, but he had a good year. 31 starts. He went 20-4. 219 and 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 215 for a 3.32 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP. As a number 3 starter, those are very acceptable numbers. A 3.8 WAR. I'm very happy with that. He's worth the guys I traded. He's worth that $4 million contract. He's gonna make more money in the offseason. He's okay with his role. Doesn't like his contract, but everything else is fine. So he's just satisfied. Joe Smith had to be year-round my best bullpen arm, even if he didn't get used much. That's the other thing. He was so good, and he just never got used. And this is his first ring, because I know he wasn't on the... I'm almost positive he wasn't on the Cubs in 2016. And he could have been on the Astros in 2017, actually. I don't know. Either way, he has a ring now after a 13-year career, 36 years old. He only made 7 appearances. That's bullshit. 7 appearances, 1 loss, 3 saves, 1 blown save, 3 holds, 8 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 1 run, 10 strikeouts. As a pitching line, say he started this game. Say he started a game and he pitched 8 1/3, and he only gave up 1 run, but he gave up 9 hits. He didn't walk anyone, 10 strikeouts. That's a pretty good line. 1.08 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, good for 4.2. I wish he got used more. We got another year in his deal. I think if that sample size were a lot larger, his numbers would still reflect the same. So he's worth the money. He's ecstatic, he's okay with his role, loves his contract, is what it is. Brad Peacock. Overall went up to 78. This is about as good as it gets for Brad Peacock, I'd imagine. He was very solid for the most part. Not bad at all. 29 appearances. He went 3-2 with 2 saves, 2 blown saves, no holds. 35 2/3 innings pitched for Brad Peacock, who was a starter a solid chunk in 2019. Gets his second ring with the Astros. Started a lot in 2017. Did not know that. Regardless, struck out 40 batters, a 3.8 ERA, and a 1.43 WHIP. WHIP could be a little bit lower, but the ERA is fine where it is. Not bad, dependable. 0.6 WAR. Worth the money, I'd say. He has a chance to walk in free agency, but he's ecstatic. Okay with his role, loves the money, and the team. Now we get to my starters. Jose Urquidy. I was really hoping Urquidy would be a 3-4 guy. He's only 24 years old with A potential. His overall went up to 77, but he had a terrible start to the year. And he actually just didn't have a good year at all, really. 32 starts, he went 16-8, so the win-loss isn't bad. 203 1/3 innings pitched, but he got shelled. 229 hits, 112 runs, 106 were earned. 215 strikeouts is good, but a 4.69 ERA is not good. 1.38 WHIP could be better. Could definitely be better. 17 quality starts somehow. 3 complete games, 2 shutouts. Good for a pitching WAR of 3.4. He's under control until 2025, at which point he'll be 25, 26, 27, 28. So he'll be 28, 29 heading into that off season. He's a chance to be good. We'll see. Lance McCullers Jr. I didn't realize he was only 26. B potentially got overall up to 84. I don't know if he was in the gold category before, but if he wasn't, he is now. He had a good start to the year and then went south and had a terrible ending to the year. I had to relegate him to the bullpen, but the game never really allowed me to do that. So he turned into my number 5 starter. Him and Urquidy were definitely the bottom of the rotation. He gets his second ring. 34 appearances was 33 starts. He went 17-8, 214 1/3 innings pitched, 251 strikeouts, so those were there. But a 4.79 ERA is not good. A 1.45 WHIP is not good. 15 quality starts, 5 complete games, 4 shutouts. 4.4 pitching WAR. Last year of his deal. This year specifically, I would argue maybe not worth the money, but it is what it is. He is satisfied. He does not like the fact at all that he got relegated to the bullpen. He thinks he should be making, $100,000 more than he is, but that's pocket change when you're making $4 million. Not necessarily pocket change, but whatever. Justin Verlander. Now we get to the big ones, because Verlander is 37 years old and has had a long career, 15 years it spans. And his overall went down to 81, but I don't know where it was to start the year. But he's hitting a major decline in his attributes. -11, -12, -12, -12, -12, -13, -13. Even in the fielding department, -13, -13, -13, -14. So Verlander is definitely... I would think that maybe Verlander is considering retirement at this point. He's finally won... He's got 2 rings now. And he's a Hall of Famer. No doubt in my mind. That's as much as I don't like him. He went 32 starts this year, 20-4. Maybe this is potential Cy Young, but probably not. But I know how this game is sometimes. 20-4. So he's at 245 career wins. He has eclipsed 3,000 career innings pitched. He struck out 244 this year, which gives him a career total now of 3,250, which is, let's see where that nets him all time. Because there's only been a handful of people that hit 3,000. So we'll go back to at-bat. And we'll go to regular season career total for pitching. Go to the strikeouts category. 3,250 career strikeouts, with Land Verlander 12th all-time, passing Fergie Jenkins. Above him is still Phil Niekro, Greg Maddux, Walter Johnson. Is that Gaylord Perry or George Perry? I can never remember. Gaylord Perry, as I thought. Don Sutton, Tom Seaver. I have no idea who this guy is, actually. Oh, no, yeah, Burt Blevin. I know him. Steve Carlton, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan. But 12th all-time on the all-time strikeouts list. I wonder, in the wins department, there have been a handful of guys that hit 300 wins. More people have hit 300 wins than have hit 3,000 strikeouts, I think. I don't know, actually. I didn't look at that. Yeah, more people have 300 wins than 3,000 strikeouts. 245 wins would net him tied for 50th all time in the wins department, which isn't bad necessarily, but it's not as standout as the strikeouts. That's besides the point. All the babbling aside, Verlander with 244 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.38 and a WHIP of 1.26. Wow, his WHIP has been really low for like the last 5 years. I'm kind of surprised at that. Good for a WAR of 3.6. So we're talking about a guy with career wins close to 250. He could pitch another year or two with this decline rate, and he could probably get to about 3,400 strikeouts. If not a little bit more than that, maybe 3,500, maybe 250 if he pitched like 2 or 3 years. I don't think he would get 300 wins unless he pitched like 4 more years. If he can get 20 wins over the next 2 years, he's still going to be 15 shy, so he'd have to play 3 years and get enough wins there. I don't see that happening. Like I said, he could potentially retire right now. And have a Hall of Fame career. His pitching WAR is above 70. It's 72.7. He does have 1 more year in his contract. I would say that this year, maybe not necessarily worth that kind of money, but worth a solid contract for sure. He does have 1 more year, and I think if he does play that 1 more year, he gets, obviously, at least 250 wins. And like I said, he'll get 3,300 strikeouts at least. Hall of Fame career for sure for Justin Verlander. He's happy. Doesn't like the fact that he's not our ace this year, though, but he loves his contract and the team. But we did have something better than him, and that was Zach Greinke, who I don't know where his overall was to start the year, but it went down to 92. I think it was not at 92. I think it was lower than 92 to start the year. Either way, Greinke diamond in the 90s, one of the better pitchers in the game. His attributes are going down. 16-year career for Greinke. He's 36 years old. He finally has a ring. He's been around since 2004. He could also retire now, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. 33 starts for Greinke. He went 24-3. 251 innings pitched even. He struck out 263, which is a career high. Zach Greinke had a career year. Career high in the strikeouts department. Career high in the wins department. I think he matches his career low in the losses department. He also got robbed of a year in 06. If Greinke didn't get robbed in 06 and then missed time in 07, he probably would have had a Hall of Fame career for sure. Struck out 263, ERA of 2.22, and a WHIP of .89. Good for a WAR of 7.9. I think Zach Greinke has a Hall of Fame career locked up at this point now too. He was a little debatable. The wins are a little bit low. The strikeouts, he hasn't eclipsed 3,000 strikeouts yet. He's got I would say he was worth that money this year. He's got another year in his contract. I think he can pass 3,000 strikeouts if he pitches another year. He only needs 115. His career ERA is 3.26. His career WHIP is 1.14. 27. I didn't look at Verlander there. 22 quality starts for Verlander, 3 complete games, 2 shutouts. Greinke had 27 quality starts, 10 complete games, 7 shutouts. I think Greinke's got Hall of Fame career lockdown because Verlander does for sure. Greinke has a higher WAR than Verlander, which isn't the be-all end-all, but at the same time, 74.4 career WAR, I think that's good enough. He is ecstatic, loves that he's our ace, loves his contract. He's got 1 more year left on the deal. Maybe Verlander and Greinke play 1 more year each. Either way, they're definitely Hall of Fame pitchers. My voice is fucked up. I need to take a Zyrtec. That's what's fucking wrong with me. I'll take it after I finish this since there's not much left to do. Regular season, Josh Reddick. Reddick's overall went down to 72. He's 33 years old. He's been around for 10 years at least. He's on the decline. He's got 2 rings now. I didn't realize he was with Boston for 3 years. He didn't play as much, but off the bench, he was a backup outfielder. He didn't play much. Off the bench, he only played 48 games, 173 at bats, 50 hits, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a 289 average for Reddick. Good for WAR off the bench of .2. Maybe he hangs it up. He's at the end of his contract. I don't think he hangs it up, but I don't see him playing much longer or much better. He's happy though. Wanted a platoon, but he's on the bench. But he loves his contract. He's set. Aledmus Diaz, 29 years old. His overall did not change from 74. Also a bench player, solid fielder. Backup though. He's got his first ring. I thought he played in Miami at one point, but I guess I was wrong. Only played in 52 games. He had 56 hits, 8 home runs, 30 RBIs, pretty meh. Stole a base, 283 average. Good for WAR off the bench in the middle infield, primarily at 2.1. We've got 1 more year with him due to arbitration. He's happy. Not happy with the bench role, but he's happy with the contract. Not bad. Garrett Stubbs, I don't know. Garrett Stubbs didn't have any business being on this team to begin with. Good fielder, don't get me wrong. Decent speed. Contact hitter, not bad, too. Got his overall up to 71. Don't expect much out of him, though. B potential, maybe he gets up into the high 70s at absolute most. But that'll be more due to fielding. He was my 4th string catcher. I had Martin Maldonado and then Corey Lee, who I want to prioritize, and I traded for Christian Vasquez. And yeah, so he was my 4th string catcher. He played 10 games, had 6 hits in 23 at-bats, 3 RBIs, no home runs, 261 average, and good for a WAR of 0.3. He had a positive WAR. Good for him. This was his first MLB experience, so he's got team control until 2026. He's unhappy. Doesn't like the bench instead of platooning. Thinks he should be making more money than that. I think if he gets more playing time, he could potentially live up to a contract that's higher than what he's making. But time will tell with him. He's very much unknown. Martin Maldonado overall went down to 74. Good fielding catcher still. The hitting is but he was my catcher to start the year until I traded for Vasquez and Corey Lee came up. 88 games he played, 325 at-bats. He's got his first ring. He was not on the team in 2017. 10 home runs, 46 RBIs, 255 average. Good for a WAR of 2.1 as a backup catcher / starting catcher / third string catcher. That's all right. 1 more year on his deal. He's happy, except for the part where he's benched instead of platooning. Christian Vasquez, I don't know what his numbers were when I traded for him, and I really did not need to trade for him because Corey Lee came up. But either way, he's a good contact hitter and a good fielding catcher. His overall is 80, so he's in the Gold Club, and he gets his 2nd ring. Didn't realize we've had him since 2014, we being the Red Sox. But a career year for Vasquez almost entirely. In 136 games, he had 146 hits, which is a career high. 16 home runs, which is a little off the career high, but double digits again for the 2nd time in his career. 67 RBIs, which is only a little bit off his career high. Stole 6 bags, whatever. 282 average is a career high, because he had way more plate appearances than 2017. 282 average, so not bad. Good for a WAR at 4.3. So he'll crack double-digit WAR most likely for the career. He's got 1 more year in the deal. 29 years old. He's unhappy. He wants to be an everyday player, and he's on the bench, and he wants to be making more money, and he's not. So his overall could actually be 82. Either way, he's in the Gold Club. Corey Lee, though, 83 overall at 21 years old. He got his overall up to 83 already with not much MLB service time at all. This kid has a hugely bright future. Good fielder already, good speed, and a decent enough hitter. And he is going to get much better with a potential at 83 overall. Corey Lee is going to be a force. I'm going to love to see what happens to him in my simulations when I sim all the teams before I start my second wave. He only played 26 games, 96 at-bats. He had 21 hits, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, stole a bag, 219 average. I liked hitting with him. Good for WAR .2. And we actually have him on a deal for $2 million a year for these 4 years. And then he'll have 2 years of arbitration before he's a free agent in 2016. 2, 4, 6, yeah. So a lot of team controls. He's ecstatic. Loves that he's not just platooning. He's every day. Loves his contract. So he's looking good, especially for the future. Now we get to all the crazy shit that went on with my actual starting lineup. Starting with Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker has actually been around for 2 years, but this was his first full year actual starter. And with a potential at 23 years old, he got his overall up to 78, and I think he's close to gold, and he'll get gold. I think he was better than 78 at one point. Great speed, great fielding, and his hitting is all right, and he really made strides against righties, and he will get better as time goes on for sure. He will be a solid player, maybe not necessarily a force like Corey Lee has potential to be, but Kyle Tucker definitely has potential to be a good player, especially a good lefty bat to have against right-handed pitching with pop and speed and fielding. He's going to be a multi-dimensional threat for sure. Ignore my song, Pop. And he had a great regular season. This is my number 8 hitter, my number 9 hitter, mind you. 130 games, he had 133 hits, 26 were doubles, 7 were triples, 28 home runs, 92 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. So a double-double for him. 282 average, an OPS of .893. Good for a WAR of 3.9 out in right field, actually. He played, not left field. He is under team control till 2025, so this Astros team is still going to be pretty set for a while. He's satisfied. Likes that he's an everyday player instead of platooning, but he hates his contract. Everything else is kind of just meh. Carlos Correa had an MVP year. A lot of these guys had MVP years, but Correa was a front runner. At 25 years old, Correa's potential is at A, and he went to 90 overall, so he's in the Diamond Club, and he's one of the better players in the game. Great fielding, okay speed, and incredible hitter. And he made great improvements, too. Plus 14 to contact against righties. Everything was, except for the power against, he didn't have the best power against lefties, but he's got good vision, discipline, and clutch to go along with it. Carlos Correa, very well-rounded player and a great hitter on top of that. MVP caliber year for sure, living up to the hype. In 134 games, he had 185 hits, 34 doubles, 45 home runs, 138 RBIs, with a 369 average. That is so fucked up. OPS of 1.162. Good for WAR at shortstop of 9.9. If Carlos Correa were a center fielder, we're looking at one of the highest WARs of all time. This is an MVP year. I mean, anytime you put up 45 home runs on 138 RBIs, you're going to get talked about for MVP. But a 369 average is insane. And a 1.162 OPS is also insane. 9.9 WAR for Correa. Last year of his contract, though. He is just satisfied. He's not the star. He's just an everyday player. If Carlos Correa were happy or ecstatic, his overall would be higher than 90, and his performance would have been even better. That's scary to think about. Yordan Alvarez got his overall up to 93 at 22 years old. He's got a potential. He is going to get a lot better. His fielding isn't terrible. It's not good, but it isn't terrible, and he has time to get better. His discipline is insanely good. His clutch is pretty damn good, and his vision is getting better. And then everything else is 85 or higher. His numbers against right at 96, 85, 94, 93. He's one of, if not the best hitter in the game. And this is, again, insane. And he played every single game. He played 162 games. 241 hits. He threatened the single-season hit record. 38 doubles, 4 triples, 61 home runs. At 22 years old, he has 88 home runs. And he only played 87 games last year. 61 home runs, 156 RBIs, a 364 average, OPS of 1.147, good for WAR at DH of 10.1. He barely played the outfield. 10.1. These are MVP. These aren't just MVP numbers. These are greatest seasons of all times numbers. He is under team control till 2025. He is just satisfied, too. He is the star, but he doesn't really give a shit about that. But his contract is pissing him off, and it says that he's failing at playing at an all-star level. How the fuck is he failing at playing at all-star level? This is one of the greatest seasons of all time. A 10.1 WAR. This kid, if he continues at this rate, has Hall of Fame career written all over it. Because we're talking 60, 50 home run seasons for 10 years. That's 500 to 600 home runs. Again, that's a crazy pace, and that's hard to maintain. But he's going to get better. He's 22 years old with a potential. At 93, he's going to get better. Yuli Gurriel, his overall went down to 78. I didn't realize how old he was to start the season. His fielding's actually not that good. I was thinking about replacing him, but he played way above what his attributes say. Good vision and clutch. And contact against righties is there, but it's going down. But he played incredibly well. Career year for Yuli. As much as I hate him. He had 196 hits. 36 doubles, 38 home runs, 131 RBIs, with a 322 average and an OPS of .946. This is MVP caliber numbers. For that matter, MVP caliber numbers in a quieter year. Obviously, guys like Betts, Bellinger, Trout, and Yelich have all had better years than this now in their recent MVP runs. But in a quieter year, this would be an MVP year because he had almost 40 home runs. He had over 100 RBIs, and he hit over 300, 322. Good for a WAR at first base at 4.0. One more year of arbitration for him before his deal expires, and he's actually going to start hit a decline fast. He could even possibly retire after next year, after 2021. 2 rings deep already, and he's not going to be a Hall of Famer anyways, so why bother, really? But he's ecstatic, he's happy with his role, he loves his contract, and he loves the team performance. Alex Bregman, also an MVP caliber year. 26 years old with A potential. His overall is 99. He is as high as you can be, as good as you can be. Great fielder, decent enough speed, great hitter. His hitting against righties wasn't that good to come into the year, but he made improvements there, and his hitting against lefties is top tier. Vision, discipline, and clutch, 86 or higher. Alex Bregman's one of the greatest in the game right now. He had an MVP caliber year. He had 204 hits, 41 home runs, same as last year, but 134 RBIs. Got the strikeouts down from last year. Stole 13 bases. A 368 average. An OPS of 1.124. Insane. Good for a WAR at third base of 11.5. This is so fucked up. He is... Again, it depends on how his career goes, but he's starting to work his way into being potential, again, depending on how he goes, Hall of Famer. He's got the Hall of Fame potential. He's got 2 rings now, too. And he's worth that money for sure. Hell, he's worth the money he's going to make. He had a $25.1 million year this year, let alone a $14.9 million year. He's well worth the money. He's got it under contract until 2024. He's happy. He wanted to be a star, and he was only the star was Jordan Alvarez. The contract he loves, and everything's just insanely good. Michael Brantley, wasn't necessarily a fan of him. His fielding's alright, his speed isn't there. He's a contact hitter, vision, discipline, clutch are pretty good, but he doesn't really have that much power. His overall went up to 86 though, so he's in the Diamond Club. He's 32 years old with 10 years under his belt. He's been around since 2009, so career year for Brantley for sure, but I don't expect him to be having that green arrow next to his overall anymore. His first ring, he had 177 hits, 30 home runs, 102 RBIs. And a 304 average, OPS of .894. Good for a WAR in left field of 4.4. Not bad. He's not bad. I guess he was worth the money. He was worth that contract. He's in this last year of his contract. He's happy. Likes his role, loves the contract. Just doesn't like that he's far from Washington, but pretty happy with that. Jose Altuve, overall went up to 94. 29 years old with A potential. He's got some solid numbers to go. He's got some solid time to go before he's going to decline. He might have a small chance of getting better. Solid speed, solid fielder, amazing contact hitter with a little bit of pop to his name. And he had a close to an MVP caliber year as well. You look at his 2017, and he came close to his numbers there for the most part. He had 199 hits, 49 doubles, 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, 31 stolen bases. So a 30-30 year for Altuve. That's a first for him, a 30-30 year. 338 average on top of that, and OPS above 1 at 1.009. So I'd say it's a career for Altuve. Good for a WAR at second base at 7.7. Altuve is working on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer, 2-time World Series champ now. Twice now he's had MVP caliber years. And he's not going to get you in the home run department, but he's working his way up in the hit department. Probably he won't get 2,000 hits next year because he would have to break the single season hits record to do so. Or no, he wouldn't. He would only need 233 hits, which I believe the record is like 260 something. Or is it 3? No one's ever had 300 hits in a season, right? No, definitely not. So he's got an outside chance at cracking 2,000 hits next year. I think he'll get 2,000. He'll definitely get 2,000 hits in his career. Outside chance at 3,000 hits. Not even necessarily an outside chance, actually. An outside chance at 200. An even larger outside chance at a 300 year. He only needs 15 more stolen bases. Either way, his WAR is above 50 now. He's only 29, so he's got a chance to get that up to that 70 threshold. And then George Springer. Overall, at 87, it says it doesn't change, but I don't think he was 87 overall. To start the year, he's diamond. Decent speed, decent fielder, decent hitter. He is the definition of pretty good. Maybe not great when it comes to the attributes, at least. His stats were pretty damn good, though. 170 hits, 40 doubles, 38 home runs, 114 RBIs, 15 stolen bases, 303 average, OPS of .978. Good for a WAR in center field of 8.4. Contract is the last year of his contract. He's worth that money for sure. He's happy. Wasn't a star, but he loves his contract. Now, one thing I'm going to do before I go any further is I want to tally team home runs. Because this was fucking insane. Reddick had 5. Oops, wrong way. Aledmus had 8. Stubbs had none. Martin had 10. Wait. I did that wrong. Whoops. 5 for Reddick. 8 for Diaz. 10 for Martin Maldonado. I don't know how many Vasquez had when he came over, so I'm not even going to count him. 6 for Corey Lee. 28 for Kyle Tucker. 45 for Correa. 61 for Alvarez. 38 for Gurriel. 41 for Bregman. 30 for Brantley. 30 for Altuve. 38 for Springer. So not factoring Miles Straw, who got traded, any other position players that are no longer with me that I could not factor in, and the fact that Vasquez definitely hit at least 1 home run with the Astros. So I'm not counting how many Vasquez hit. And then pitchers. I didn't count any pitchers. Greinke is a hitter. There's a pitcher that can hit, so maybe he hit 1. Not factoring in all that, we as a team hit 340 home runs, shattering the single season record set by the Twins, which I think was 307 last year. Insane. And Cy Young, I think Greinke has a shot at Cy Young. Actually, I'm going to be honest here. I saw on the Dodgers scoreboard, I'm pretty sure he won the Cy Young. Hopefully he didn't win the MVP, although he has a pretty solid pitching performance to win the MVP. But I think you got to give it to Alvarez or Correa or Bregman for how insane their offensive years were. World Series MVP, Bregman. Postseason MVP, Alvarez. Not really expecting any Gold Gloves or anything like that. We'll check the awards here. World Series MVP, Alex Bregman, 412 average, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. Makes sense. Postseason MVP also was Bregman. Wow. Alvarez not even mentioned. That's kind of bullshit, but whatever. Springer finished just shy of a Silver Slugger. Correa got one at shortstop, well-deserved. Bregman got it at third base, well-deserved. Altuve got it at second base, well-deserved. Gurriel got it at first base. I guess you could say that's well-deserved. I don't know, because Olsen had more home runs. 1 more RBI, but the average, I think, is what does it. Alvarez gets it at DH. Definitely well-deserved. Gold Gloves. I'm not expecting any Gold Gloves. No top 3s for Gold Glove. Oh, I mean, maybe Greinke could have gotten one, but whatever. Hank Aaron Award goes to Correa, actually, instead of Alvarez. I figured it'd go to Alvarez. who had 16 more home runs, 18 more RBIs, and just shy average-wise, but whatever. Rookie of the Year, Kyle Tucker doesn't count. Corey Lee didn't play enough. I don't know. Reliever of the Year, yeah, whatever. Batting title goes to... So tell me how Alex Bregman wins the batting title, but Carlos Correa had a higher average. It's 368, the threshold. You can't do 369, so this didn't count. So Carlos Correa wins the batting title. Zach Greinke wins the Cy Young. Wow, and actually looking at the other numbers for the second and third favorites, I'd say that's well-deserved. He had more wins. He had less losses. Well, Tanaka only had one, but Greinke had a lower ERA and more strikeouts, so that's well-deserved. MVP goes to Yordan Alvarez. I think that's well-deserved. You can't hit 360 with 60 home runs and 150 RBIs and not win the MVP. You just cannot. I don't give a fuck if you're DHing. You cannot. Greinke gets the MVP nod as well. JD Martinez, I don't think JD Martinez deserves to be in the top 3. I think Correa does, because of his average was 369 and he had 45 home runs. Yeah, I think Correa, 369 and 138 RBIs. So, because the difference between JD being a DH and getting MVP nods and Yordan is Yordan did it better. You know, much better. 10 more home runs, only 2 more RBIs, but still more. And then a much higher average. So you got someone else doing the exact same thing as you, but doing it a lot better. I think deserve. So we're down to the final 2. I have 2 teams left to play as. That is the LA Dodgers up next. I'm looking forward to obviously a hell of a lot with the Dodgers. Mainly my favorite player in all of baseball, Mookie Betts. But obviously beyond that, I'm looking forward to Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, and Jock Peterson. I'm interested in seeing. Max Muncy as well. And the pitching. Walker Buehler for sure. Clayton Kershaw hopefully can maintain form. Kenley Jansen in the bullpen. Joe Kelly in the bullpen. That bullpen in general is really fucking good. Kenley Jansen, Joe Kelly, Adam Kolarek, Tony Gonsolin. I'm forgetting someone. Pedro Baez. Blake Trinan. If Blake Trinan can find his old ways from that one year with the A's where he was insane. I don't know if it was 2018 or what year it was, but whatever year that was. That'd be insane. Yeah, it's just such a well-rounded team. Oh, excuse me. Can't wait to play as them. We'll start that tomorrow or whenever. And then last but not least, opening up any pack that I have left over from when I started my Astros run to the end of my Astros run, which is a Team Affinity, the 4 Live Series, the Set 5 actually, and then 1 regular pack. Saving all these for the end. Gear Up I'll do. These are all new ones here. I think I'm going to take the cleat maybe, or the tape. Ooh, that's actually a good bat. It's a good glove too. I'm going to take the glove because it adds 9 to your arm strength. Okay, we'll open up my 4 Live Series players. 2 bronze, 2 silvers. Miles Straw, who got traded away. Garrett Stubbs. Lance McCullers Jr. twice. I'll open up set 5. I should have checked to see what the headliner was, whatever. Joe Smith, another Astro, nice. Matt Cock, coach, whatever. Jameson Tyone, who I actually really like. 3 Team Affinity packs. I read his name weird for a second. His name too. Luke Williams. Oh, a gold! Shane Bieber. That's actually a pretty damn good card right there. I got a gold out of a Team Affinity pack. That's probably the best card I've pulled in quite some time. I have not been having good luck with these packs. Hoping to have that change when I open that 50 pack. Another gold! Giovanni Gallegos. Okay. We're getting some golds out of the Affinity pack. My pull rate has been low, so maybe we're turning things around a little bit here. Ooh, no. I mean, I want diamonds because I'm to the point where these golds aren't going to be used, but they're nice to have. Soroka, nice. And then 1 regular pack. Ooh, Moncada. Jacoby Jones, Paul Blackburn. And another gold, Tommy Canely. Cool. So, wow, 3 golds tonight. That's actually very change. That's a very different change of pace. I'm happy for the sake of collecting. Obviously, for the sake of my Diamond Dynasty team, I'm looking for better than gold, but I'm not really caring about Diamond Dynasty until I finish these next two teams, Dodgers and Yankees. Then I do every team again on beginner from the bottom up, starting with the Orioles, I believe, are still the 30th team. And then from there, I might get into it along with the road to the show. But until then, I will see you when I start the Dodgers.